Welcome back to Sixes in London with our Ashes preview show. Darren Goff still to come, more from Steve Harmison later on. We'll get some questions from the floor for the fellas. But before all of that, we're going to be talking football with Darren Bent. But he's going to have a go at the Sixes 6-ball challenge we've all tried today. 14 is the score to beat, just set recently by Australian comedian actor Felicity Ward. So we need an Englishman back at the top of the leaderboard, otherwise it could be bad luck for the Ashes. So Sam, Benty's all ready to go.
He's ready to go, and surprise, surprise, he's moaning already. Oh, I didn't have a practice here. Honestly, it's not fair. Maybe less paddle. You could have come down for a net earlier, Benty.
No, yeah, listen, I've been here before. Great sport, first and foremost, but I love coming down here, Sixes, man. I mean, hopefully now I'm going to do myself justice and team drive time, because that's what I'm doing it for. So let's see how we get on.
We've seen you score many goals in the Premier League. Bat and hand, though, going to hit them cleanly, confident, in good nick?
Last year, when I played at school, I was a bowler. I was at the end of the order in batting, so that kind of tells you where this is going to go, but I'm confident and get some runs in. OK,
here we go then, doing it for team drive. We're going to move out the nets. The ball. No, we're not going to turn it. It's a spinner, Benty. It's not a fast bowler. And Darren Bent is in position. My guess, boys, he's going to just swing, and swing. So here we go. He's getting ready. I think he's taking a bit of a leg side. Oh, and I tell you what, he comes down the ground there and almost just lofts that ball over the fielder at mid-wicket, and he starts with a 4. He timed that ball to absolute perfection. 1 ball, 4 runs. Oh, and this time again, he almost tries to play the same shot coming down the ground. I think, by the way, here, I think he might have the seamer on here, by the way. I think we've had spin, boys. We've got to change a bowler. The seamer's on, and that from Benty there is a full delivery. It's a drive down the ground. He wants 6. Our scorer, Alex Christie, is going to give him a 4. 2 glorious 4s. 3 balls, 8 runs. Here comes the seamer once again, charging in, and that's another really good shot down the ground. Another 4 for Darren Bent. 4 balls, 12 runs. He's got a chance here to get to the top of the leaderboard. Again, he's facing a seamer here, not a spinner. And this time there, he looked to work it to the leg side. There was a thick outside edge, and it's a 2. So he's on 14, yeah? 14, you're on 14. Here comes the final ball, and it's a glorious shot down the ground, and it's another 4, and yet he's still moaning and still complaining. We're giving him 18 runs from 6 balls. Darren, come out of the nets. Darren, you're top of the leaderboard. By the way, we owe you an apology. I said spinner. It should have been a spinner. You got the seam bowler there.
I mean, I don't even know what seam is, but listen, I'll take it. I'm taking more runs than he's giving me, though. 100%.
18 is top of the leaderboard. Go and join the boys. I'm sure that, do you know what, Paul and Andy? I think Darren Bent's done well there. A couple of lovely, glorious shots back down the ground. He's on 18. He's top of the leaderboard. Go and join the boys.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Sam. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I think the seamer looked a bit easier than the spinner, actually.
That last shot was
delightful. Good hand-eye, isn't he?
Well, that's the way it is.
That's it. Yeah. Comes naturally to him. Anyway, he's going to pop round a minute. We are going to talk a bit of football. I think everybody got sucked into that game last night, whether you were a Scotland fan or not. It just was amazing. I mean, normally, it was 7-1 Wales won. That would be a great story.
Yeah, but it wasn't the jeopardy wasn't the same. You know, for them to qualify like that.
No, absolutely. So it was a fantastic game, and I'm sure the boys on Drive will be touching on Scotland versus Denmark. And Benty has joined us. Hi, Darren.
Hi, gentlemen. We okay?
Yeah, well played. We saw that there.
Yeah, robbed of a few runs, though. 2 flashes, and they give me a couple.
Yeah, you're just moaning at the ref. It's not like you, is it?
No, I thought I'd done well. I was nervous. Yeah. And also, Sam told me it was going to be spin, and it was none of them spin.
No, it wasn't. No, that's right. They changed it up for you. Did you know Sam got naught?
Did he?
Naught. Sam got naught.
Do you know, it doesn't surprise me. If you look at him, you probably would have guessed that, wouldn't you? They would have got nothing. They would have got nothing.
So we haven't had a chance to talk football. I know you and Andy will definitely be talking about last night's game. It was just incredible, wasn't it? Well, I mean, whether you had skin in the game or not, whether you wanted Scotland to qualify, whether you didn't, you just got absolutely sucked into the match. It was brilliant.
Well, do you know, the first half of the journey, I was on the train, because the train on the way home, and I screamed the carriage when McTominay scored that overhead kick.
What a goal!
I could not help, but I've got my other half's, her side of the family, Scottish, but for me on the train on my own, I jumped up and screamed. I mean, for him to score that goal, that just sums up kind of where he is in terms of his career. But fair play to Scotland, because to get pegged back and then go in front and then peg back again, you go, all right, it's all over. But fair play, and the celebrations at the end, I mean, that's why everyone loves football, right?
Yeah.
Whether you want them to qualify or not, you can't help but feel happy for them.
And the nature of the goals, I mean, you're an Arsenal man, so you would have been chuffed for Tierney, who had a lot of it. I think he was a really good player, but had lots of injuries at Arsenal, and that kind of derailed him.
I think there should be more inverted right backs with left footed. You see it a lot the other side, but you very rarely see a left footed playing at right back.
Well, it's because of Robinson. That's always been the problem. That's always been the problem.
How do you get them both in? I think he tried before Tierney. But I mean, it's a great hit from Tierney. I mean, when he came into it, but then at the end, I mean, the commentator made that last goal because I heard him shout, "Shoot!"
Yeah, shoot! That's right.
Shoot! And I mean, for Scotland waking up today, I mean, what a job by Steve Clarke, and good to see him.
I mean, the problem is that if Schmeichel catches it, lumps it down the other end of the pitch, and they score, it's the old David Ginola moment. Because you're thinking, shall I shoot? Shan't I? mean, they thought, well, why? Probably the ball would have gone out of play, the goal kick would have happened, and that would have been the end of it. So there was not as much jeopardy. But what a way to finish, what a way to qualify for a World Cup. 3 of the 4 goals were absolutely sensational.
Honestly, incredible scenes. And as you said, I think the biggest thing is that they got pegged back, and I think the way Denmark played, they were the better side.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh, no, what's going to happen here? But then the fact that they kept going. And I knew Hampden would play its part. It's loud in there, it's hostile. But fair play to Scotland. And even the Wales game, I know they've got a playoff, but 7-1. Everyone was saying how defensively solid North Macedonia were. Well, that went out the window last night.
That is amazing. I'm taking a bit of solace in Brennan Johnson's fine goal. So, what a cracking shot into the top corner. He'll do that Sunday, I'm hoping.
I hope
He'll
not.
do that Sunday. So Gabriel looks like he's going to be out for a little while. Last year, Tottenham at home, well, this is at the Emirates, but was 1-0, and it was a Gabriel header that was the difference. And that was a team without Rice and Saka. And so there's a lot of talk about the players that were missing in the build-up to that game. Sadly, from my point of view, Arsenal still got it done. But it's very telling that it was just one moment, a Gabriel moment from a set piece, and that's going to be missing.
He scored 5 goals this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's been brilliant. And there was a time, right, where if Saliba was missing and Gabriel was the only one available, I would have been a bit like, oh no. But I think in the last couple of seasons, I generally think it's flipped. I think now all of a sudden, if Saliba was to go down, I think a lot of Arsenal fans would go, yeah, we miss him. But Gabriel's now, for me, the most important leader in that back line. Set plays, defensively rock solid. And Mosquera's come in and done really well when he's been called upon. So, yes, I'd love to see Gabriel there. And hopefully it's not that bad of an injury.
That's the thing. You've built this depth in the squad now with players like Mosquera. You're not seeing the kind of drop-off you did maybe last season before. So they should be able to cope. But there are certain players, as Andy says, that they're very important, very key to what you do.
Well, set plays, Gabriel, often enough, if you watch him from set plays, he's being marked by 2 people.
Yeah.
One's trying to block him and one's trying to mark him. So, but listen, Arsenal are going to have to come up with different ways of scoring goals and making it effective. But there's still players. He's gone out, but there are players coming back for the game on Sunday. So hopefully it should be a good result.
What have you made of what's going on in the England camp and the competition? I think we're seeing... I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where... you find yourself on the bench a little bit at a club.
Several times.
Yeah. So, but when you do get your chance, there's that real edge to impress, and it's very noticeable in the 2 England games we've just recently seen. How the game kind of came to life when he made substitutions, because those guys are playing for the World Cup places.
Do you know what there are? And certainly, but more so when I was playing in my era, you could pick the starting 11, regardless whether they were 40% fit, 50% fit. So I always knew it was enough to take a miracle for me to actually get that opportunity to start and maybe oust one of the other strikers.
Yeah.
But certainly nowadays, I think Thomas Tuchel's made it known that, well, I don't really care about your name and your reputation. If you're playing well for your club side and you've played well for me, you're going to get opportunities. And I quite like that, because if you're someone like Morgan Rogers, you're going into internationals thinking, well, I'm not only playing if Bellingham's not fit. Now the manager trusts me. There's a chance that I might play and Bellingham might not. So I quite like the fact that Thomas Tuchel's almost not guaranteed places, but he said, if you play well, I don't care who you're playing for, you've got an opportunity, and that's huge confidence for these players.
It's very interesting that Martin Samuel in the Times made a good point, I thought, that Tuchel hasn't helped Bellingham. He's made a lot of noise around Bellingham with his comments, and instead of, even he said the other night, he didn't just dismiss the fact that he was upset about. He said, "Oh, I'll have to have a chat about that later." You think, no, don't do that.
I feel a bit for him because
he's kind of your best player.
Most of this has stemmed from a man speaking in his second language to Adrian Durham and Stuart Pearce on talkSPORT, and using a word that in Repulsive that has kind of set this whole thing going, and I don't think that's what he meant. So I have some sympathy, but then you're right, he has doubled down on a few things.
I always think as well, we've got to be so careful in terms of the narrative as well, because we all want England to do well. Why are we trying to create that divide already before the tournament started?
Absolutely.
I mean, Andy made a really good point. For me as well, Jude Bellingham is, beside Harry Kane, our best and most important player who's come up with big moments. Why would you want to derail that before the tournament's even started? Surely you want to get into the tournament, which is going to be hard anyway, with everyone on side and a real feel-good factor.
Well, we'll let you get back to work because you've got to do the show with Andy at 4. He'll be delighted to hear that you're top of the leaderboard. He'll be coming down here himself to have a go, won't he? He really won't like that.
I think he did last year.
I think he got 2, last year.
He'll be crashing it, that's right. Thank you.
Cheers, gentlemen.
We'll hear from you later.
Cheers, guys.
Darren Bent back at 4 o'clock with Andy Goldstein for Drive, all the big football stories and more. And don't miss the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast as our Scotland reporter Paul Mitchell joins Ollie Klink. They discuss that dramatic last gasp winner over Denmark, which sees the Tartan Army qualify for their first World Cup since 1998. If you want to hear more, then the talkSPORT Daily is available on all podcast platforms now. We're here with our good friends at Toolstation. You can check out Toolstation's unmissable deals, great offers on hundreds of trade brands. Next stop, Toolstation.